What's up, college sports fans? I'm Stuckey.
I'm Colin Wilson.
I'm Mike Calabrese.
I'm Maria Marino.
I'm Charlie DiSturco, and we're excited that the Big Bets on Campus brand is launching its very own YouTube channel.
You'll be able to find every episode of the BBOC podcast, live shows, and other college sports content on this new channel.
Not only will the channel be dedicated to betting on college sports, but you'll also be able to find exclusive interviews with former college athletes,
college football power rankings,
and updates on other topics like the brand new College Football 25 video game series and the ins and outs of the recruiting trail all the way down to the transfer portal.
Whether you're into college football,
college basketball,
college baseball, or any of the college sports,
we are the home for college sports, and BBOC is the channel for you.
Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. I'll see you there.
Welcome in, Payoff Pitch, Action Network's Major League Baseball betting podcast. We are presented by BetMGM. Brendan Glasheen joined on this Monday evening by BJ Cunningham and Tanner McGrath, two of our contributors at Action Network when it comes to MLB coverage. We're getting you set for Tuesday, August 13th in Major League Baseball, full 15-game slate. I hope you folks enjoyed our awards futures episode. If you leave your 5-star ratings and reviews in the reviews, be curious what people think of that, because I know we're at the end of the year, but and we work in future stuff almost every episode. There's always kind of an angle, something to talk about, a discussion. But maybe that's something we think about doing more often if we don't have the data for Fade the Public. We will do Fade the Public tonight, though. As well as underdogs and some final bets of the day. Mookie Betts is back tonight for the Dodgers, activated off IL. It's one of the big stories in baseball as far as superstars are concerned. But for our purposes, we will start with best bets. BJ Cunningham, I will turn to you first. What do you have for us?
Let's go with the Padres for the first 5 innings, minus half a run. So to win the first 5 innings at minus 120. Michael King will be on the mound for the Padres, who's been really, really good for them this season. 3.43 expected ERA, 10.5 K per 9 rate. And what King has done a really good job of is being effective in the zone. You know, a lot of pitchers have to go outside of the zone to be effective, get guys to chase. King is somebody with his main 3 pitches, his fastball, his sinker, and his changeup. He's really high in terms of percentile rankings for called strike and whiff rate in the zone with those top 3 pitches. And being really good in the zone is good against this Pirates lineup because they have really struggled against right-handed pitching. 3rd worst weighted runs created plus against righties behind only the Rockies and the White Sox. And even over the last 30 days, they're 23rd in baseball in weighted runs created plus. So I think Michael King will have a really good matchup. Luis Ortiz will be on the mound for the Pirates. He's kind of an interesting case because he's been going between the starting rotation and the bullpen. His numbers in the starting rotation have not been that good, 4.4 xFIP. He's got good stuff plus numbers, though. He's got a 103 stuff plus, good location plus rating. But in terms of a matchup against the Padres lineup that has been red hot lately, 4th over the last 30 days in terms of weighted runs created plus, against his 4 pitches, which is fastball, a sinker, a cutter, and a slider, the Padres are 1st in baseball against right-handed sliders. They are 4th in baseball against right-handed fastballs. They are 1st against right-handed cutters, and they're not very good against right-handed sinkers. So in some way, the Padres are going to get to Luis Ortiz. So I think that they have an edge, really huge edge offensively, and a decent edge in a starting pitching matchup. So I like them to win the first 5 innings at minus 120.
Yeah, Michael King's zone contact rate is under 80%, which is top 10 percentile of major league pitchers because he has a nasty sinker that he throws in the zone. And the Padres are really good, and the Padres are going to win the World Series and all the awards. So,
Yeah.
Division.
I like the optimism. Because this dude, Michael King, I thought for a second, maybe this guy was going to sneak his way into the Cy Young mix. I think that's gone now.
No, that'll be Dylan Cease who will win the Cy Young.
Sure. Yep, Dylan Cease, 30-1. That's moved after his rough start against the Marlins over the weekend. But yeah, this favorable schedule we were hinting at a couple weeks ago with the Padres, it just continues while the Dodgers are in Milwaukee this week to begin. Tanner, what do you have for us? Best bet for Tuesday.
Yeah, my favorite bet for Tuesday's slate is going to be on the Cincinnati Reds. I'm looking for probably minus 140 or better at home against the Cardinals, because if you are interested in another National League Cy Young pitcher to win the Cy Young, let's say you want to buy Hunter Green stocks, now is the time to buy, because he has made 7 starts since the start of July. with a 1.03 ERA and 51 strikeouts in 43 innings, including this start coming up on Tuesday. His next 3 opponents are the Cardinals, Blue Jays, and Pirates. Now is the time to buy Hunter Green stocks, and he's really put it all together this season. Like, we all know he's always had electric stuff, that high riding fastball, some nasty secondary stuff, but he's really figured out his batted ball problem. Like, past seasons, he was a hard throwing, hard contact guy, Spencer Strider, stuff like that. He took some heat off his fastball. He went from like 99 miles per hour on average to like 97, and now he's managing contact more effectively. And so, for example, during this recent 7-start streak, he's allowed 2 barrels. 2 barrels. That's a 2% rate on top of a 22% hard hit rate allowed. That's elite pitch to contact metrics. This was unimaginable a few seasons ago. Hunter Green is totally locked in. And his opponent, the Cardinals lineup, they're better against right-handed pitching. We talk about it all the time on this podcast. But recently, I think that the Cardinals and Reds against the side have basically been even-ish. I mean, the Cardinals have a 104 WRC plus against righties over the past month. The Reds have a 97, but the Reds can also overperform a bit in the lineup thanks to speed and athleticism. They manufacture runs on the base paths through Elly De La Cruz steals or whatever else they do. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are a little bit older, a little bit slower, more dependent on mashing, which I'm not sure you can do against Green right now. And I think the Reds should have a decent matchup with Eric Fedde, who will start for the Cardinals on Tuesday. Real average arm. We talk about how the Cardinals love these aging arms. Fedde's one of those. He's overperformed this season because of some fortunate BABIP and strand luck. He's posted earned run indicators pushing 5 over the past month. And, he's been walking more batters recently, cutting into that command that he relies on so heavily. I mean, if you throw 89 and you're walking batters, what are you going to do? I love both bullpens, but I still give the advantage to the Reds because I love Cincy's bullpen and I love Fernando Cruz, and I love that they rank 3rd in bullpen WAR this season, and I talk about it all the time, how much I love this bullpen. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have posted a negative reliever WAR over the past month. They are slumping. They have a great back half of the bullpen, but they're a little weak in that middle relief spot. I think the Reds have a significant 9-inning pitching advantage here, and I don't think the position player disadvantage is enough to compensate for that. So I like the Reds at home over the Cardinals on Tuesday.
All right. Let's move on to Fade the Public. We're going to feature the Red Sox and Rangers, 83% of the bets, 99% of the cash coming in on the Cutter Crawford-led Red Sox Tuesday. The Rangers send Jose Urena to the mound. I know Zarello was on the Rangers tonight, and the under. The total in this game is set right now at 9.5. I think there are some 10s out there. I will say, BJ, it's getting cooler in Boston. It's been very comfortable end of summer weather. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I went out for a little run before the pod. It was really nice. No humidity. It was quite beautiful. Right after 7 o'clock, it was nice. So just keep an eye on the cooler weather because the ball won't be traveling as well, especially at a place like Fenway.
Yeah, it's, I believe it's going to be 75 degrees with a little bit of crosswind at Fenway tomorrow. So beautiful weather, not weather that would, hinder any, type of offense or anything like that. But I do kind of like under 10 here. Jose Urena is going to be on the mound for the Rangers. Not really sure how long he's actually going to go here. He's been pitching actually a little bit better this season. As a starter, 4.4 xFIP. Typically he's been a guy who's in the 5s, and that's why he's just continually been passed around team after team after team because he's somebody who can come in and give you a spot start or give you some type of long relief. So not saying he's got the best of matchup against the Red Sox, but on the flip side, I think Cutter Crawford, despite, his struggles at times, actually has a really good matchup against the Rangers here because the Rangers offense, as opposed to last season, actually kind of sucks. Over the last 30 days, they're bottom 5 in weighted runs created plus. Over the course of the season against right-handed pitching, bottom half of Major League Baseball against righties as well. So I think that he has a pretty decent matchup here. So I kind of like under 10, projected 9.2 runs for this game. And, also Jarren Duran will be suspended for this one, who's the Red Sox second best hitter against righties. So kind of like under 10 here.
Tanner, what say you with the money coming in on Boston? Any value on the Texas side with Urena pitching?
Yeah, I don't mind that look on the under. Aren't we still getting strands of the tropical storm coming through right now, so I think that's the reason why we're getting these cloudy.
What's the name of it again?
conditions.
Deborah? Is it Deborah?
Yeah, Deborah, one of those. But
Debbie.
so I think that's why we're getting these cloudy conditions. And 10 is really, really high for any game. But I am looking towards fading the public and taking the Rangers. Like plus 125 is what I got. And we'll start here. We'll start with this: the Red Sox pitching staff. This poor young staff is just so tired. They're just really, really tired. I mean, Cutter Crawford, he's now allowed 22 earned runs over his past 18 innings. And you'd think that some of that is just general unluckiness. And some of it is. But he's also allowed 13 barrels during that 4-start stretch. I mean, a lack of control and command, like when you get tired, that's what goes, right? Your control, your command. That doesn't just show up in walks and balls thrown. It shows up in managing contact. And both Crawford and Houck are really struggling in that regard, managing contact not as well as they used to in the early season with their cutting and sinking fastballs. And of course, James Paxton, who I thought could come in and actually take some weight off of those guys, hit the IL. And he did nothing in Sunday's game, now stretching their bullpen, which, by the way, has been the least valuable bullpen in Major League Baseball over the past month. A minus 1.6 WAR, 6.8 ERA. All the arms are tired. They're all tired. And while they generally can overcome that with their bats and how they manufacture runs on the base paths and how good they are just across the lineup, Jarren Duran is suspended for this game, like BJ said. So that forces David Hamilton into the leadoff spot. It puts Nick Sogard in at the end of the lineup. And, you know, the Rangers are running a full bullpen game probably, right? BJ said like Urania's been a little bit better as a starter, but I don't know. Does he go past 4 innings here, 5 innings?
We won't see it 3 times through.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that's a good thing. Like I've never been high on the Rangers lineup. They're very erratic, or Rangers bullpen, excuse me. They're very erratic in the back end of that bullpen. But I actually like the acquisition of Andrew Chafin at the deadline, even if he's been awful in his Texas debut so far. And they can't pitch any worse than the Red Sox are pitching right now. So
true. Whatever.
And similar to what BJ said, I don't even like how the Rangers are swinging the bat right now. But they're really disciplined. You know, they will always be disciplined. They will always have high walk rates. They'll always see a lot of pitches. Like they're a top 10 team by Seager, which, as people may know, is selective aggression engagement rate. It's a way to measure what pitches you're attacking, like if you're attacking good pitches. And Texas will always be good in that regard behind Corey Seager, who the metric is named after. While the Red Sox are more like pop, power, speed, and they can be a little bit more erratic. I think that just in general, this game is just going to be super high variance. I mean, you have no idea what you're going to get from Cutter, the Red Sox bullpen, or the entire Rangers bullpen. I'd rather just take the plus money. I think that plus 125 for a Rangers team, which is, you know, they're not bad. They have a lot of talent, and the Red Sox are short one of their best hitters and going through all sorts of negative regression on the mound. So I like the Rangers.
Yeah. I know Andrew Bailey's been a great story from early in the year, but the ERA just keeps going down, Tanner, each month.
It's unfortunate because I really do believe in the changes that he made, but these guys they're just tired. I mean, Cutter and Tanner blew past their innings. Like Bayo tonight looks pretty good, but like he's still having a tough time locating his sinker changeup mix. Like he leaves it too high in the zone, and I just don't think they have the innings to get through the dog days. Like if they did, this team is so dangerous, but they're just not going to get there.
And you see, that's why they got Priester and Sims and Paxton all at the deadline. Because I'm assuming
you lead with Priester,
but Priester's not good enough. Paxton's hurt, and they're putting Sims in the bullpen. So like,
yeah,
they don't have the arms to get through. I really thought they would. Like I was buying the Red Sox at the deadline. I thought they made decent moves, but they just don't have enough. It's not going to be enough. But we'll see. We'll see.
Did you lead with Priester on purpose?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making a joke.
He's the first one that came to my mind. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I thought that was tongue in cheek, leading with Priester, who has not been with the big club yet. Yeah. It's a big stretch. Rangers, Orioles, Astros again, because the Astros just danced all over them this weekend, and
now we got
Arizona.
Orioles are coming up too.
I still think they could sneak in the playoffs because I believe in the Sox more than I believe in the Royals. I think the Royals are super overvalued, especially on the mound, and I don't know. I like the Red Sox more than I like the Royals. We'll see. It's going to come down to, the last weekend or something. I feel like those are the two teams that are going to vie it out for the third spot. I don't know if there's another one really involved, but
No, we'll see if the Rays make a run.
There's just no arms in the Boston dugout right now. Just zero arms. So we'll see.
If you've ever thought about becoming an Action Pro subscriber, now is the best time to sign up. For less than $10 a month. Get a year of Action Pro access across every sport, which includes player prop picks and projection edges from Sean Kerner and the entire Action Analytics team. Sean Zerillo, our very own, he has projections for baseball, Colin Wilson and Stuckey for college football, access to premium articles from our top experts, and so much more. And Action's podcast listeners can use code POD20 to get an extra $20 off. That's POD, P-O-D, 20 for $20 off a year of Action Pro. Just visit actionnetwork.com/pricing or follow the link in this episode's description. Underdogs for Tuesday slate. Where's the value, BJ?
I was kind of going through a lot of them, and I'll be honest, there's a lot of underdogs I really was showing value on, but I really don't like. For example, I was thinking about taking the Rays with Shane Baz, but he's been awful. Didn't really want to deal with him. I was showing a little value on the good old White Sox. They're going to probably close at plus 280 against the Yankees would be my guess.
Yep.
But I landed on the Washington Nationals. Now, before I say this, the Nationals have been terrible against left-handed pitching. So they are going to be facing a very below average left-hander in Trevor Rogers, who came over at the deadline from the Marlins. I don't know why the Orioles decided to go after him. Like, I get that a couple of seasons ago with the Marlins, he hit, but the stuff profile is not good right now. Stuff plus rating of 84, just one pitch with the stuff plus rating over 100. Location plus is around league average right now. He's got a 5.22 expected ERA. So if they were ever going to hit a left-handed pitcher, it's probably going to be Trevor Rogers. And Jake Irvin, who's been a perfectly average major league starting pitcher, actually a little bit better than average. 4.04 expected ERA. His top two pitches have actually been very dominant. Fastball only allowing a 307 expected weight on base average. His curveball being very effective as well. So, and the thing is the Nationals bullpen as well have been an above average bullpen the entire season. So I don't hate a look at the Nationals at plus 150 against Trevor Rogers, who again, he's had two starts with Baltimore. He got lit up in one of them. In his last start, he was a little bit better. But again, he just doesn't have the stuff, and he's really not showing any signs of being the dominant pitcher that he was. I think that was 2 years ago, correct, Tanner, when he went on that run. So for me, I'm going to go with the Nationals at plus 150.
Tanner, what about you? Underdog for Tuesday.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the Nationals, mostly because I have a soft spot for Jake Irvin, and you're right that Rogers just isn't the same guy. But the team I ended up on for my underdog for Tuesday was the Angels, plus 120, hosting the Blue Jays, because the Toronto Blue Jays shouldn't be minus 140 against anyone right now. They can't pitch. They cannot pitch. They're 16-19 since the start of June because they're allowing 5.5 runs per game. Starting pitcher Kevin Gausman is still broken because his splitter is still broken. He's posted earned run indicators north of 5 since July started. He has a sub 10% strikeout minus walk rate and 11% barrel rate during that stretch. He's giving up too many two-strike barrels and is walking 10% of batters, which is a really tough combination. And behind Gausman is, as we've talked about before, the worst bullpen in baseball by far. They've posted a 6% strikeout minus walk rate over the past month. That's only better than the White Sox among MLB bullpens during that stretch. The unit is totally wasted and has a lack of depth now that Yimi Garcia is gone. And Toronto is up to minus 1.6 reliever WAR on the season. Second to last place in that regard is Colorado at minus 0.2. They are really bad back there, folks. And so, look, like anyone can hit off Gausman and the Jays, and that includes the Angels, who not great on contact, but still draw plenty of walks. If they stay patient, get on base, like they could get to those 2-strike counts with Gausman and then hit that splitter that hasn't been working all season and has not been missing bats, and that's what's gotten him in trouble. And they can hang in this one. And on the flip side, I'm not going to sit here and say that I have love for Carson Fulmer or the Angels bullpen, but they're all better than Gausman and the Jays in that regard. Like Fulmer is a perfectly league average pitcher by every metric. He's made 5 perfectly decent starts since joining the rotation. He posted a 3.6 ERA in 25 innings. Halo relievers have posted a sub-3 ERA over the past month, and much of that has been luck, right? But they are still a better bullpen than Toronto's by every metric and every eye test. Like, give me Roansy Contreras over any Blue Jay reliever right now. And I do think that the Jays have been undervalued in the lineup all year. I've always thought that they were just getting unlucky with stupid batted ball results. But now you look at it, just after the deadline, Justin Turner plays for Seattle. Danny Jansen has been tearing it up in Boston. Bo Bichette is on the 10-day IL. And the Jays have sort of sunk back towards the middle of the league since Vladdy has begun to slow down after that little midseason tear he went on.
Yeah.
The Jays just simply shouldn't be this big of road favorites against anybody. I'm willing to fade Gausman and that pitching staff and that lineup here in Anaheim on Tuesday.
BJ, I think that lends well to your final play, which is a look on the total in this game.
Yeah, I do like the over 8.5 runs at minus 115. Just echoing everything Tanner's already said about Kevin Gausman and how much he struggled this season. The flip side, not to essentially put down the Angels, but their bullpen has been bad. But obviously Toronto's has been way worse. But over the last 30 days, they obviously have dealt Estevez 4.52 xFIP, but Toronto's at 4.94. So we have 2 really, really bad bullpens. Carson Fulmer, I don't know how long he's going to last in this game. He's been primarily pitching out of the bullpen for most of the season. So I can't imagine he goes beyond 5 innings or even sees the lineup the third time through. So when you get into essentially what would be the back half of the Angels bullpen, if he only is able to last 3 or 4 innings, then that's really troublesome, even though the Blue Jays have kind of struggled offensively. So projected 9.4 runs for this game. So I like over 8.5 at minus 115.
Yeah, and I really don't hate that look on the over because even though, like I said, the Jays have kind of sunk back, like Vladdy is still really good. I really like Addison Barger in that lineup. I think he has some pop. I've actually liked what I've seen from Joey, excuse me if I say his name wrong, Luperfido, who was one of the top prospects that came over in the Kikuchi trade. The Jays lineup is still dynamic. There's a lot to like there, so I really don't hate the overlook either.
All right, I think that's it. You got Dodgers and Brewers on TBS tomorrow night. So if you want to get another look at Mookie Betts, he actually hit second tonight. Ohtani stayed in the leadoff spot, so Betts hit second. So it's something to keep an eye on. Mookie Betts coming back for the Dodgers, even though there's a lot of concerns with that team.
They're still the favorites.
Yep, they're still the World Series favorites, and that certainly helps move everyone down a slot in the order to give them some depth, but that was the big story today. Mookie Betts being back and Clayton Kershaw still making his way back. So very good. All righty. For Tanner McGrath, BJ Cunningham, Brendan Glasheen. Again, don't forget to get involved with an Action Pro account. It is the right time of year to do so. We mentioned the promo. Check out the Action Network Discord channel. Sean Kerner will be in there quite a bit, our director of predictive analytics. He'll be there for football coming up. So there's a link in the episode description of this podcast to the channel. And I'll leave you 5-star ratings and reviews. Thanks for tuning in. Payoff Pitch is Action Network's MLB betting podcast presented by BetMGM. Best of luck. We'll talk to you again at the end of the week.